What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to take a look and a listen to Representative Stansberry out of New Mexico. She's going to be talking about Social Security reform. She's going to be talking about an increase of Social Security benefits. So we'll hear what she has to say. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification, clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And one more way to support us is by joining our membership. Just click the join button below. You'll get customized emojis as well as custom badges. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look and a listen to Representative Stansberry talk about an increase for Social Security benefits. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In New Mexico, we care for our elders. It is a part of our culture. It is a part of who we are, because our elders are the people who birthed us, who raised us, who cared for us. They are our grandparents and our parents, our aunties and our uncles, our veterans, the people who carry our histories, our cultures, our languages, and our traditions. And that is why it is so outrageous to me, as a New Mexican, that the House GOP would even consider, more or less propose, to gut the critical programs that support our elders. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. In New Mexico, thousands of New Mexicans depend on Social Security. Our seniors, our elders, people living with disabilities. Over 450,000 New Mexicans depend on Medicare. That is over 20% of our state's population. New Mexicans depend on these programs to access life-saving health care, to provide for their families, to put a roof over their head, to put food on the table. Before Social Security, our elders were left with nothing. Before Medicaid and Medicare, our seniors and our low-income families could not access life-saving health care. In New Mexico, over 12% of our seniors are considered low-income and living below the poverty line. Thousands struggling to maintain housing, to have basic services, to have a roof over their head, to put food on their table. So let me be clear. These programs save lives, and they have secured our elders for generations. And New Mexicans and all Americans should be able to live without fear that politicians here in Washington are going to use their lives for political gain. But here we are on the House floor, and the GOP is playing politics with the lives of our seniors, proposing to gut the fundamental programs that have supported them for generations. And we already know what happens when federal programs are cut. Hospitals close, food insecurity rises, critical programs disappear. And that is why we are fighting as House Democrats and the Biden administration to protect our seniors, to protect these programs, to ensure that they are there for generations to come. That is why we are fighting to protect Social Security and our health care services. It's why we took on Big Pharma 2 years ago and won. It's why we passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which has the largest single expansion of Medicaid since the passage of the Affordable Care Act. It's why we fought to lower prescription drug costs. It's why we capped insulin prices for every American. And it's why I fought in the state legislature to end state taxes on Social Security benefits in New Mexico. So I ask my colleagues, is this how you care for your elders? Is this how they taught you and raised you? Are these the values that you were raised with? Well, I can tell you, that is not how we treat our elders in New Mexico, because we know they depend on these programs, because we know the life-saving care and support that are necessary, and we know that we cannot break the promises to those who cared for us and raised us. And Democrats understand, just like New Mexicans, that we must care for our seniors And that is why we are fighting back and working every day to make sure that we secure their well-being. I yield back.
Okay, so that was Representative Stansberry. And you know what's interesting? I never understood why you have lawmakers that are saying, let's cut these programs. Let's cut Social Security. Let's cut Medicare. These are insurances for everyone, all of us. We all contribute, just like when you're driving a vehicle, you need to get insurance. We all contribute to these programs. And you have people talk about taxes. Oh, I don't want to be taxed. I'm being taxed too much. Usually what they're talking about is income tax. So they're talking about the 30% tax or 32% tax that they're paying. If you're wealthy, you're probably paying more, around 21% or even less. But that's what they're really referring to when they talk about taxes. And when we talk about Social Security and what's not being put out there, Social Security has its own contribution funnel. Okay, so the money is not, it's not the income tax that's going to pay Social Security benefits. It's the payroll contribution. So when you're working, you're paying 6.2%. Your employer's matching that 6.2%. That contribution is going to the Social Security Administration, and that is what's helping pay out benefits. And then they're taking some money from the trust fund as well. But it's separate. And what you hear lawmakers talk a lot about is they talk about our deficit and then they tie it in to Social Security. They talk about our debt. They tie it into Social Security. Why are they doing that? Because they're coming from two different places. If we were to do away with Social Security today, it's not going to impact the current debt that we're sitting on right now. That $34 trillion will still be there. It goes nowhere because the money going into Social Security is coming from a different contribution. Okay? Now, notice I call it a contribution. You'll have a lot of lawmakers out there saying, no, FICA, that's a tax. It's actually a contribution. The C in FICA means contribution. It doesn't say anything about a tax. You are contributing, so when you get to an age where you can retire, someone will be working and contributing for you. That is the way the system works. Simple as that, both Social Security and Medicare. And it's unfortunate, but lawmakers, they want to tie it into a tax because they know we don't like paying taxes. Nobody likes paying taxes. And so if they can say, yeah, this is a tax, then guess what? You're going to say, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want you to raise my payroll contribution if it's a tax. But it's not. It's a contribution. And then also, one thing that people don't think about, what about disability? What about if you're working and you're injured and you can no longer work? What happens then? Well, guess what? You're paying into that payroll contribution as a part of the insurance. You can get disability benefits, SSDI. And so this is an insurance for all of us. We should all be vested in this. We should all be interested in this. We should all be paying attention to the fact that you have lawmakers that want to cut these programs. And so I'm going to leave it there. I wanted to put that out there. I think Representative Stansberry did a really good job of laying it out. But when it comes down to it, we need to look at it for what it is. These programs help people. These programs bring people out of poverty. These programs will help you when you get to the point where you want to retire. You can start collecting Social Security benefits and Medicare. And so it helps us all. But you do have some lawmakers that want to do away with it. And these lawmakers will give you false information because they really want to do away with the program, and you're basically hurting yourself. Just think, if you work 25, 30 years, you pay into a payroll contribution, and then you have some lawmakers saying, no, you know what, we're going to do away with Social Security, or we're going to raise the full retirement age up. Sorry, you're 67, you're going to have to wait until you're 69 now. That can really impact people. It really could hurt a person, or keep a person from retiring. And we already know right now it is hard to retire. It's hard. Most people, they might retire, but they still need to work a job because maybe a part-time job because they're not bringing in enough on solely retirement and Social Security. It's not enough. And so I want to know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.